Noah Kim scribbles in his journal by Bloodstone Quarry, the rocks shifting under a starry Nevada sky, the air heavy with dust and silence. He's 27, a historian, camping to study the quarry's 19th-century ruins, his flashlight sweeping over crumbling shafts. The stones hum, a low, grinding sound, and his beam catches a figure, a man in a miner's hat, face caved in, clutching a glowing fuse, standing in the dust. He's gone when Noah blinks, the rocks settling, a gray glow lingering. Locals at the nearby bar spoke of the Murmur, a dynamiter crushed in an 1870 cave-in, his body trapped, his spirit luring campers into the tunnels. Noah scoffs, his academic mind dismissing ghost stories, but the quarry's hum grows louder, his journal's pages flipping to a blank one, marked with dusty fingerprints. A voice, "Come," rumbles through the rocks, not his, the air thick with stone and decay. His flashlight flickers, the beam landing on a cracked helmet in the rubble, not there before. Bloodstone Quarry's pull tugs at his skepticism, a crushing snare waiting to close. Noah huddles in his tent, heart racing, as the Murmur rises from the quarry, his miner's hat tilted over a caved-in face, his fuse glowing gray like dying embers. His gray eyes glint like slate, casting a dim light across the rocks, shadows twisting into skeletal shapes. "Crush," he rumbles, the word crackling through Noah's radio, though it's off, the static warping into a grinding, stone-like sound. The quarry shifts, rocks parting to reveal bones, campers, their skulls buried in rubble, hands clawing upward as if they tried to dig free. Noah's breath catches, his lantern dimming, the air thick with the stench of dust and decay. His radio screeches, "Noah," in a voice not his, the sound slithering into his ears like gravel. In the flickering light, his journal's reflection shows his face, but his eyes are gray, his skin dusted with stone. The Murmur's 1870 death, a cave-in, a betrayal by his crew, pulses through the quarry, a curse that binds him to this place. Noah feels it, a heavy pull dragging at his mind, Bloodstone Quarry a trap closing around him, its rocks hungry for his soul. Noah stumbles into a bar, 15 miles from Bloodstone Quarry, his hands gritty with dust that won't brush off, his journal smudged with stone. The Murmur's rumble lingers in his ears, a grinding, relentless sound that drowns out the bar's hum. A miner, his face scarred like the quarry's walls, sees Noah's dusty jacket and mutters, "You saw him." Over cheap beer, he recounts 1870, a dynamiter, betrayed by his crew, crushed in a cave-in, his body trapped in the tunnels. He pulls campers now into the rocks, he warns, his voice low. Noah's phone buzzes, showing a photo of his tent, a fuse inside, though he took no such picture. The bar's radio crackles, the Murmurs rumble, "Stay," slithering through the static, the lights flickering. A dusty handprint appears on the counter, not his. Noah's chest tightens, his camp in the quarry marked him, the curse a heavy weight on his soul, Bloodstone Quarry's rocks calling him back, the Murmur's gray eyes watching his every move. Noah's truck rumbles toward Bloodstone Quarry, the rocks shifting under a starry sky, dust rising like a living thing. His radio, unpowered, whispers, "Crush," in his own voice, a chilling echo that makes his skin crawl. The quarry hums, a low, grinding drone, and the Murmur stands in the dust, his fuse glowing gray, casting eerie light across the stones. His caved-in face flickers in the rock faces, gray eyes staring, unblinking. The path narrows, the quarry closing in, Noah's flashlight catching tents and gear, buried in rubble, their owner's bones scattered in the dust. His heart pounds, his truck sliding on loose stones, the air thick with dust and decay. The Murmur's voice, "Stay," rumbles through the rocks, through his mind, a heavy pull urging him to enter the tunnels. The quarry hums, alive with the dynamiter's 1870 death, a cave-in, a betrayal, a curse that traps souls. Noah's flashlight dims, his shadow showing not his face but the Murmur's, caved and gray-eyed, Bloodstone Quarry a crushing snare tightening around him, its depths a grave he's drawn to. Noah's tent buckles under a cascade of rocks, the quarry shifting with unnatural speed, burying the canvas as the air chokes with dust. The Murmur stands beside him, his hand clamping onto Noah's arm, cold as stone, the chill sinking into his bones like a weight. His caved-in face looms, gray eyes glowing, his fuse pulsing gray, casting shadows that twist into hands rising from the rubble. The quarry itself moves, forming dusty fingers that clutch his boots, pulling them toward the earth. His phone screen flickers, showing his face, dust-covered, eyes gray, as if he's already part of the rocks. The air reeks of decay, the quarry rumbling with voices, campers screaming, their bones grinding in the rubble. The Murmur's fuse glints in his shadow, though he stands before him. Noah's resolve frays, his historian's curiosity useless against the terror crushing his mind. The dynamiter's 1870 cave-in, a betrayal by his crew, pulses through the quarry, a curse that binds him, Bloodstone quarry his grave, his escape a fading spark in the rock's pull. Noah fumbles with his truck's ignition, the engine roaring to life as the quarry rumbles, a quake carrying the Murmur's laugh, a grinding, stone-like sound that shakes the cab. His hands tremble on the wheel, gritty with dust that clings like a second skin, his breath fogging the windshield. The quarry stretches, rocks shifting, the path vanishing into a dusty void. The Murmur's face, caved-in, gray-eyed, appears in the dust, his fuse glowing gray. Noah's rearview mirror shows his own face, but his eyes are gray, his skin dusted with stone, as if the quarry's curse is claiming him. The rocks roar, dust piling against the truck, hands forming in the rubble to claw at the tires. The Murmur's voice, "Stay," rumbles through the radio, through his mind, a heavy pull eroding his will to escape. Noah's a historian, his curiosity urging him to survive, but his hands shake, the truck swerving in the dust, the haze alive with skeletal shapes. The dynamiter's 1870 cave-in, a trap of greed and betrayal, pulses through the quarry, a loop he's caught in, Bloodstone quarry a snare tightening around him, his fear a pulse the Murmur feeds on. Noah Kim collapses onto a vinyl stool in a diner, 25 miles from Bloodstone quarry, his boots trailing gritty dust across the checkered floor, his journal clutched in hands that tremble with quarry grime. The Murmur's rumble crackles through his truck's radio, left running outside, the sound a grinding hum that seeps into the diner's flickering fluorescent glow. His mirrors, truck's rearview, diner's cracked bathroom glass, are fogged, coated with quarry dust, a glowing fuse reflected in their depths, though Noah carries no such relic. A grizzled miner, hands scarred from decades blasting rock, eyes Noah's dust-caked jacket and mutters, "The Murmur's got you, boy." Over bitter coffee, the miner recounts 1870. A dynamiter, betrayed by his crew over a silver vein, crushed in a cave-in, his body entombed in the quarry's tunnels. "Salt the quarry's heart, pray this prayer," he says, sliding a sack of coarse salt and a crumpled paper scrawled with words in a rough, forgotten dialect across the counter. "Do it where the rocks hum loudest, or he'll drag you under." Noah's phone buzzes, playing a low rumble, "Stay." Unprompted, the diner's lights dimming, a dusty handprint smearing the counter, not his own. The miner's gaze hardens. Noah's camp in the quarry marked him, the curse a crushing weight on his soul. He grips the salt, his plan a desperate spark, but the quarry's hum vibrates in his chest, his fear a pulse the Murmur feeds on, the curse's wrath coiling tighter, Bloodstone quarry's rocks calling him back to their crushing embrace. Noah stands at the heart of Bloodstone quarry, midnight, the rocks quaking as he scatters salt, its grains glinting faintly in the starlight, his voice hoarse, chanting the miner's prayer, "Release him, free his soul," the words nearly swallowed by the quarry's grinding roar. The ground trembles, dust rising in choking clouds, forming hands, crushed campers, their bones tangled in rubble, clawing at Noah's legs with jagged fingers. The Murmur towers before him, his caved-in face no longer singular but a grotesque mosaic of shattered skulls, gray eyes blazing like slate, mouths snarling the 1870 betrayal. His hands, cold as quarry stone, seize Noah's shoulders, his voice a chorus of grinding rock, "Ours." Noah's phone, dropped in the dust, records his screams, its screen flashing his face, gray-eyed, dust-choked, as if he's becoming one with the quarry's dead. The salt glows faintly, the curse wavering, but the rocks shift, rubble piling around his boots, the Murmur's fuse glinting in Noah's shadow. The quarry shakes, stones cascading like a collapsing tunnel, the Murmur's wrath a living force, the prayer a desperate battle against a curse that fights to entomb him. Noah's strength ebbs, his screams blending with the camper's anguished cries, the air thick with the stench of crushed stone and decay. Bloodstone Quarry is his grave, a crushing snare he's digging, his survival a flickering ember in the rock's relentless pull, the Murmur's gray eyes boring into his soul. Noah's truck tears through the quarry's dust, tires grinding on loose rock as he flees Bloodstone Quarry, the Murmur's rumble fading to a faint, grinding hiss in the wind. The rocks fall silent, dust settling like a shroud over the quarry's jagged scars. His phone, clutched in his trembling, dust-caked hand, plays his prayer, release him, but it's layered with guttural screams, campers crushed in the quarry's tunnels, their voices clawing at his mind like shattered stone. The haze outside his windshield swirls, forming the Murmur's caved-in face, gray eyes glinting, though Noah's miles away, the Nevada night swallowing the quarry's glow. His university reassigns him to a desk job, his hands scarred from salt burns, his jacket still reeking of quarry dust. Colleagues avoid his haunted gaze, his voice rough with unspoken terror. At night, his mirrors fog, dust coating their surfaces, the Murmur's gray eyes staring from the corners. His sleep fractures, dreams of rocks collapsing, hands dragging him into the quarry's depths. A glowing fuse, not his, sits in his glove box, its gray light pulsing faintly. The quarry's heavy hum lingers, a weight in his chest, the Murmur's shadow flickering in his peripheral vision, Bloodstone Quarry's curse a chain he can't break, binding him to its crushing depths, his fear a pulse that feeds the Murmur's endless hunger. Noah unpacks in a new apartment, 400 miles from Bloodstone Quarry, the walls bare, the air thick with a gritty chill that shouldn't haunt a city high-rise. The Murmur's rumble slithers through the walls, a grinding, stone-like hum that keeps him awake, his mirrors reflecting red-stained rocks and gray eyes that aren't his. His dreams collapse under rubble, hands dragging him into the quarry's tunnels, his screams muffled by dust. A news report flickers on his TV. Body found, Bloodstone Quarry, 1870 tragedy. The dynamiter's remains, skeletal, fuse gone, unearthed by prospectors. Campers report a man, Noah's build, dark hair, waving in the quarry's dust, gray eyes glowing, leading them toward collapsing shafts. Noah's mirror shows his face, dust-choked, eyes gray, the quarry's red stones looming behind him, though he's far from Nevada. His landlord finds grit on the floor, though Noah's boots are clean. His journal sits untouched, its pages still dusted with quarry stone, his life unraveling, the Murmur's curse a cage around his soul. Bloodstone Quarry remains his eternal grave, its crushing pull a weight he carries, the Murmur's gray eyes watching, waiting, forever, the quarry's hum a pulse that binds him to its relentless hunger. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay updated with more amazing stories coming your way. Join our community and never miss an adventure.